Welcome to our National Skill Transfer Initiative. This is a hands-on program that is aimed at ensuring that we are able to inculcate skills in research methods and in biostatistics. This program is aimed at medicals, both the doctors who are in training as well as people who are already in practice. The basic idea of running this program is that, we stopped studying mathematics in class 10. A few people carried on till class 12, and after that there is no exposure to mathematics. And then when we come into research, we suddenly realize that there are certain mathematical concepts that are thrown at us, and we find it very difficult to grasp those concepts, and it becomes a little bit of rote learning or ritualistic learning. This particular series is aimed at ensuring that we are able to understand why we do what we do. So we will be taking each of the steps of research methods, and we will be exploring step by step the reason why we do a particular thing in that particular manner. Is it difficult to understand? The answer is no. Geometry for your IOL power calculations, you have been using visual field analysis, you have been using corneal topography. These are all very advanced statistical concepts. You don't find it difficult because you have been trained in them, you have used them over a period of time. However, when it comes to the basic statistical concepts in research, because they have not been explained so lucidly to us, we find it a little difficult, and we are slightly confounded when we are faced with those. Now, statistics is the scientific study of collection, organization, analysis and interpretation of numerical information from data. Now that sounds like a mouthful. It is a mouthful. There are four elements to it actually. The first is, of course, collection of that data. Second is organization. Third is analysis. And the fourth is interpretation, resulting in meaningful information which is actionable. Now the first thing that comes to mind is that isn't data and numerical information one and the same thing? Well, the answer is no. You have something like this, which is called a data funnel. Now, in a data funnel, a large amount of data is used to give us nuggets of information, and this information is meaningful and useful to us. Now, data can be quantitative. That means it is numerical data. For example, the weight of people, for example, the height of people, for example, the number of people in a particular classroom. Or it could be qualitative data, which is non-numerical. For example, the color of skin or the color of your car, or even the state to which you belong. Now, the other concept that we need to talk of is basically population. Now, population is not merely all the people living in a particular place. That is what we normally associate it with. But in statistics, population refers to all the measurements and observations of interest that you have collected. Now, this could mean, we were talking about weight. So it could be a small sample, or it could be, the average weight of all the people in a classroom. So you're looking at the weights of all the people who are in that classroom. So that is your population, or all those observations from the population. A bigger aspect of it would be, the state, the weights of all the people or all the children in that state or in that nation. Right. So all the observations or all the measurements that you have made are going to make the population. Now, best of course is if you are able to do a census, you are able to study the entire population. That is not going to be feasible many times. So what we do is we study a part of the population. Now let me explain it in a manner. It is not possible for you, for example, there is a sack which is lying there, and it is not possible for you to open each and every sack and see what is there inside the sack. So what do? You just start a part of the sack and take out a little part of it. So that little part is the sample, right? So similarly, what we are going to do in our statistical analysis and our research is we're going to take a small part of that of the universe or that population, and we are going to study that part of it, make measurements of whatever is the variable of interest that we are interested in, and based on that random sample we will try to infer conclusions about the population. Now these conclusions that we have made from that sample are uncertain. But that uncertainty is measurable. Now that brings us to the concept of probability. So we will be discussing probability in our next lecture.